Hey y'all, you're watching Best Life Now with Unique. That's me, and yes, that is my real name. And in today's video, we are discussing 3 exercises to increase your psychic abilities and intuition. And I'll also explain to you how increasing psychic abilities and intuition can help you with manifesting. Everybody wants to know how to manifest better, right? I mean, who doesn't want to live the life of their dreams? Come on, let's get right to it. Exercise number 1 to increase psychic ability and intuition is feeling people's feelings. What does that even mean? Let me explain. So in this exercise, you can either reach out to a close friend or a family member who would be willing to help you with this exercise, or you can do it on your own. If you don't have anybody to talk to about this, or they wouldn't be very open-minded about psychic ability, then you can do it on your own as well. So I'm going to discuss the first option and then we'll go into the second one. So the first option, if you can reach out to a friend or a family member, somebody you're close to, and just let them know, hey, I want to do this exercise to increase my psychic ability and intuition. Do you mind helping me out with this? And it won't take long. What it's going to be is a conversation between you and I, where I will be guiding the conversation by prompting you with some statements or some questions, and you will be doing most of the talking. I will be blindfolded while you're doing the talking. So if they agree, then you can get right to it. And as I just mentioned, you'll be blindfolded. So you're blindfolded and then the person is in the room with you. It doesn't matter if they're in front of you or where they are, just as long as they are nearby. And you will have 2 to 4 questions or proses prepared ahead of time to guide and direct this conversation, or in other words, to prompt the person you're having this conversation with. And your questions or your prompts will be either of a very positive nature, or of a very negative nature. So for example, your first question or prompt may be, tell me a little bit more about the love of your life. Who's the love of your life, or your significant other, or whatever the case may be. Or even if this person doesn't have a significant other in their life, just ask, who would be your dream person to be with? And as the person is speaking to you, you want to focus on unfocusing your mind. Let me explain that just a little bit further. So those picture books that are 3-dimensional pictures, and when you look at the picture at first, it looks scrambled and in disarray. You can't really tell what's going on with the picture. But if you read the instructions at the beginning of the book, it says to stare at the picture for a matter of seconds to a matter of a couple of minutes, and to let your eyes lose focus, and then you will begin to see the 3D image appear from the picture. And if you've ever tried one of these books and been successful at seeing the 3D picture, then you'll know that you do have to stare at it for some time and really focus on unfocusing your eyes. And sometimes your eyes will go a little cross-eyed, but eventually you'll begin to see the 3-dimensional picture popping up from the book, and the picture becomes clear. So the answer is revealed to you when you unfocus your eyes, when you unfocus your mind, essentially is what it is. Unfocusing the mind and letting go and letting God. You know the term let go and let God? It applies to like everything in life, but it definitely applies to this situation. You want to let go and unfocus, relax your mind. If you need to put your hands out like this, put your hands out, but you'll be blindfolded, you got your hands out, and you're talking to this person, and you've just asked them their first question or their first little prompt about the love of their life. And what you want to do is sit back, relax, and feel the energy. Feel what you're feeling. So you want to focus, you want to pay attention and ask yourself, what kind of feelings am I feeling? What kind of emotion am I picking up on? What am I perceiving from this person? What am I sensing from this person? So that's the only thing you need to be paying attention to, is what am I perceiving or sensing from this person as they speak. You don't need to focus on the words that are coming out of that person's mouth. I know that sounds a little rude, like you're ignoring them. You're not ignoring them, trust me. Your subconscious mind is a brilliant thing. It is picking up on all of the important things that that person is saying to you. However, your conscientious, your waking mind will not be focused on every word that is coming out of their mouth. Instead, you're focusing on staying unfocused and relaxed and just asking yourself, what do I feel? What do I feel? What am I feeling from this person? And if the exercise is a success, you'll be able to feel all of these good, positive vibes, and to continue with this exercise and to get an idea of what the negative feels like, because it's good to experience both. Because if you only experience good energy being exuded from this person, then you won't have anything to contrast it to. And so it's important that in this exercise, you also try out what the negative prompt will bring as well. And so then you might want to lead with a question or a prompt, something along the lines of something that is tragic or devastating. And for example, at the time that I'm filming this video, 9/11 just passed and it's been 20 years. And so I might say something like, in lieu of 9/11, that was such a tragedy. How are you feeling? So something along those lines to prompt the person, and then let them speak. Again, you're blindfolded. If you want to have your hands up, you can, just so you can feel the energy better. And ask yourself, what am I feeling? What kind of emotions am I sensing? Am I perceiving? What is this person putting off? What kind of energy are they exuding toward me? And just be aware of that. And if you'd like to go a step further, you can do 2 more questions. Again, one that's very happy, or funny. Maybe tell me the funniest story that's ever happened in your life. And then one more that's negative. Maybe tell me the most scary, the most horrific, ghost story you've ever heard or you've experienced yourself. Tell me about that. And so again, that contrast will give you a really good understanding and a grasp on what both energies feel like, positive and negative. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because I will have more videos on this topic where I take this very same exercise to the next step. And in the next step, you'll actually be able to not see and not hear the person at all, but know what they're talking about. Whoa! So that's how you would do that exercise with a partner. Now, I also said I would discuss how to do this exercise without anybody. You can absolutely do this exercise on your own. Just try to pick a time or a place where you'll be out in public. You can be anywhere out in public. It'd be best if you're with a group of friends or a family member. Maybe it's like a girls' night out, friends going bowling, or family dinner time, whatever the case may be. You just want to be around other people. And again, you're going to, without a blindfold this time, you're out in public, you're just going to engage in a conversation with one person, maybe more than one person. That would be cool to try this exercise out on a multitude of people, but you want to, again, lead the conversation by asking things that are either super positive or super negative, and then get a feel for the feelings that you are perceiving, the feelings that you are sensing from that other person. And you won't be blindfolded, but the same technique applies. So you want to focus on staying unfocused. And I know, again, it's gonna sound rude, like, oh my God, I'm not listening to this person in conversation, rude. But trust me, your subconscious mind will pick up on all of the important bits of information that it needs to complete the picture. And so you're gonna sense that for a moment you kind of snap out of it like you go into that unfocused mode where you can hear them talking, but it's almost just like noise in the background, kind of just whoop, whoop. And in that moment, while you're there, while you're in that zone, just ask yourself, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? And then you'll know when the person stops speaking and you'll snap back into that different mode of actively engaged conversation. And while you were out for that span, for that little moment in time, your subconscious mind, I guarantee you, picked up on all the bits and pieces that it needed to. And once you snap back and it's your turn to engage in the conversation, you'll know exactly what to say to them and pick up where you left off. So this exercise is definitely going to help you become more attuned to the finite emotions that people are putting off. So you're going to be picking up on what they're throwing down, essentially. And being able to do this can help you in a multitude of ways, especially with manifesting. If you are actively trying to manifest the life of your dreams and you've seen The Secret, you've watched all of the soul sessions on Oprah, etc., you've done the research and now you're doing the work, and you're always looking for advice or input or ways to help increase your manifesting, this one will really help, because as you may already know, that like attracts like. And if you really want to manifest all of the best and positive things into your life, then you need to surround yourself by positive people. You need to put yourself in a room, always be in a room where you are surrounded by people that are doing better than you are. You are surrounded by people that are living the life that you aspire to live. You want to surround yourself by positive people that are going to have a positive influence on you and in your life. And increasing the psychic ability will really help you with seeking out those positive people, because some people may appear on the surface as something other than what they are on the inside. And so having this ability of sensing, of perceiving, of intuitively knowing this person's true emotion and this person's true intention can really help you find and gravitate yourself to the crowd of people that are the most positive and are there with the best of intentions and are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with while you're manifesting. So that was exercise number 1, feeling people's feelings. And do this exercise and do it often as you can, and while you're in public, because you will get better and better at this and awaken your intuition like you never have before. Exercise number 2, touching old or used objects. And you can do this in a multitude of ways. You can go to a library, go to a used bookstore, go to any kind of used store or secondhand store, an antique store, or my personal favorite, garage sales. And you don't have to let anybody know that you're doing this, or you can, whatever you're comfortable with, but all you have to do is right before you touch an object, I want you to close your eyes, and then touch the object, and just notice, pay attention to any impressions that you get. I like to ask myself, first and foremost, I ask myself, male or female? So as soon as I close my eyes and I touch that object, sometimes I'll see an image. Sometimes I'll see the person who held that object before me. And I'll ask myself, was it male or female? Was it young or old? And sometimes you may be able to go so far as to see every detail and every crevice of that person's face. And that's amazing. If you get to that point, I mean, you got a gift. But if you can at least decipher, is this male or female? Then that's a good starting point. That's an excellent place to be at. Because if you're at a garage sale, you can ask the person at the garage sale, hey, who owned this before? And you can just ask them, can you at least tell me if it was a male or a female? And usually they'll tell you. But if not, just try a different garage sale, different person, another day, another time. It's not a big deal. Usually people will share that information with you, or yeah, it was a guy or a girl, if they know. Sometimes they don't know, and that's okay too. But this one is a great exercise for picking up on energy that is stored in an object. And energy can be transferred and energy can be stored in many different ways. But in the case of objects, it's the fact that there's an energy that is so intense, whether it's positive or negative, it's so intense that it leaves an imprint on the object. So let's say, for example, Grandpa gave grandson a baseball bat for his birthday. And grandson has been wanting this bat for so long. And he unwraps the gift and he sees the bat, and his instinctual energy is that of excitement, and he's thrilled and he's overjoyed, and he goes in with all that energy to touch the bat, to grab the bat. And the second he does that, he's left an imprint on that object. And every time maybe he goes to touch it, he goes to play with that bat, he's putting more and more positive energy into that bat, and it all leaves an imprint. And then 50 years down the line, you find this old wooden bat at an antique shop, and you go in with your eyes closed and you touch that bat, and you just feel, and you feel young, boy, and excitement. And those three things pop into your head. It's not by coincidence, it is not by chance. You are quite literally sensing energy that has been stored in the object. And the same thing applies with negative energy, and hence hauntings and things of that nature. So that's why a psychic can walk into a room of an alleged haunted house, and when they walk in there, they're feeling the energy. When they walk into a room, they could feel the events that unfolded in the past. And so if there was a heinous act, a murder that happened in that room, I mean, what do you think the energy of, oh my God, I'm about to be slaughtered, oh my God, he's coming at me with an axe, and just that trauma of like, you are literally about to be murdered. Imagine what you would feel. All of those feelings are energy, and they have to go somewhere. And in that moment, right before the axe comes down on you, like, that energy disperses into the room and is embedded forever, has left an impression forever in that room. And your energy and your story will forever be imprinted into the room, and hence a form of haunting. And be sure to subscribe, because we will get into hauntings in a later video and the difference between different kinds of hauntings. But that right there, that story of like a heinous murder happening in a house, and let's say you got axed to death, and that axe coming down on you right before it comes down on you. I mean, imagine the thoughts, imagine the intensity of the emotions that you're feeling in that moment of, I mean, that is imprinted into the room, into the surrounding. And years later, centuries later, a psychic can walk into that room and still feel that energy that was left in the walls, that was left to tell your story. And so what happens sometimes is that this kind of energy can leave what we refer to as a residual energy or a residual haunting. And like I said, subscribe so you won't miss a video. But that goes to show that it doesn't matter if it's positive energy, like the story of the baseball bat with grandpa and grandson, or negative energy, like the horrible act that was committed in a house, in a now haunted house. Either way, it's pretty powerful stuff. And through these exercises, you're just becoming a little bit more aware of how to decipher energy. And with this knowledge comes great power. Hence, you are able to manifest much better, much quicker than you were able to before. Again, being able to decipher this energy will help you steer clear of the more negative energy and surround yourself by the more positive energy on a daily basis. And that brings us to our third and final exercise to increase your psychic abilities and intuition, and that is predictions while driving. Now, always be careful while driving. I preface this by saying that use your sense and drive safely. But this next exercise I like to do when, for example, this is the ideal scenario for doing this exercise. When I'm on a long road trip, I've been on the road for hours, I am cruising at about 60 in a 70.
What?
Yes, I drive like a grandma, but you know what? I stay in the slow lane, so you can drive around. And most people do. So I'm cruising 60 in the 70 in the slow lane. I've got it on cruise control. Like everything is calm and relaxed. I'm driving a long stretch, maybe in Texas where there's not another town for miles and miles and miles, and there's not much traffic. There's a steady flow. Every now and again, maybe every like 10, 15 minutes, another car is gonna come cruising by. They're on cruise control too, probably like 65 or 70, and they just cruise on by you. And when cars are kind of passing like that at that mode, you can almost sense them. Even before you see them coming, you sense them coming. Well, that's where this exercise comes into play. So as you feel a car approaching, what I like to do is I won't look immediately. When they're right there in my blind spot, I'm not going to turn around and look at them because that's cheating. What I do instead is I sense them. I know that they're right there in the blind spot. Maybe I saw them in the rear view from far away, like they were a speck. But once they get up into your blind spot, I don't look. And what I do instead is I ask myself, male or female, and old or young. And I'll just quickly, the first two answers that pop into my head, old, male. That's it. First two answers that pop into my head, old, male. And then as they pull up, and now they are neck and neck with me, and then I will turn and take a quick peek and look at the driver and see if indeed I got it correct. And 9 out of 10 times, I get this one right. So this one is a lot of fun. But like I said, I like to do it when I'm just on cruise control, doing a long stretch, kind of a drive, and traffic is really calm, cool, collected, and we're all just cruising. That's the safest time for me to do this. Again, please be careful driving. Always practice safe driving. Please, please, please. But in this exercise, it's great because you get that instant validation as to whether you were correct or not. Whereas the other two exercises, you may or may not get that validation. In this exercise, it's instant. So this one is a lot of fun for me. I hope you like it too. And that concludes our 3 exercises for increasing your psychic ability and intuition. And again, help you with your manifestations. Practice, practice, practice as often as you can. You will get better and better at this. And again, you can use it to help you speed up or help improve your manifesting techniques and your manifesting results. And eventually you may find that people catch wind of the fact that you have this gift, and you might have people reach out to you or come to you and ask you for a psychic reading. I personally don't do psychic readings, but I've had close friends ask me a thing or two, and I always like to tell them, look, a medium can see dead people, can speak to people who have passed. A psychic, on the other hand, and this is in my opinion, I know a lot of people are going to argue this, but a psychic, in my opinion, what that means is that you're a person who is able to read and decipher energy. So when people come to me asking me questions about psychic readings, I tell them, look, what I can do is basically read your energy, and I'm going to tell you what I'm picking up on, and it's exactly what you're throwing down. So I'm just picking up what you're throwing down, that's it. And I'm going to regurgitate that information to you. And that's not to say that I can tell you exactly what's going to happen in your future and exactly what you're going to do, because nobody can tell you exactly what you're going to do because we have free will. Else, what is free will for? Right? Nobody has that power to tell you that they know exactly what's going to happen in your future and they know exactly what you are going to do, because nobody knows that but yourself, and nobody has the power or the control over that but yourself, because God gave us all free will and nobody can take that away. You're welcome. So at best, what a psychic can do, if a friend or family member reaches out to you, you can let them know, hey, look, I'll tell you exactly, I'll be picking up on what you're throwing down and I'll just tell it back to you, and that's about it. So if you want a friendly energy check, I like to call it, just an energy check, I can give you that. So you can put yourself in check and just kind of get a feel for where am I now? What kind of vibrations, what kind of energy am I putting out there? Maybe I'm putting some stuff out there that I may not even realize I'm putting out there and I don't want to be putting out there. So let me go see a psychic friend and just get an energy check. That's cool. That way you can just bring some things to light that maybe needed to be brought to light, and then you can work on yourself, put yourself in check, do your Reiki, whatever you need to do to woosai, and bring the energy all back to you, positivity and where you want it to be. But that's it. That's a wrap. There are the 3 exercises you can do to increase psychic ability and intuition and help you manifest. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want more content like this, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll be notified the next time I put a video out. I really appreciate all of the love and support I've gotten so far. I can't thank you enough. And remember to go back and watch my videos on numerology readings, because if you want a free numerology reading, all you have to do is comment free reading in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to reach out to you and give you your free reading. Thank you again, and until next time, love yourself and those around you. Bye.